Hey guys, in today's video we are checking out these wonderful guitars from Henry's Music, the Space 2 and the Snake 2. So let's have some fun and let's start by checking out a demo track with these two guitars. Take a listen. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. So that was these two guitars through my Soldano Astro 20, starting with the Space 2, the Telly basically, and then the Snake 2 on the bridge and neck pickups with a little bit of a clean tone in between, broken up clean tone with the Space 2. And for the rest, just balls out rock in my own style, basically. I hope you enjoyed that. So for all the tones in this video, I'm running the Soldano Astro 20 into my Grossmann Fatbox 1x12 cab, in which I've loaded up my trusty Celestion Vintage 30, mic'd up with 3 mics, 2 SM57s and 1 MD421, sent into the DAW, and that's what you're hearing, okay? So if you're not familiar with Henry's, they are a very cool brand from the Czech Republic, and they sent me these guitars to check out and to use on the channel. So many thanks to the folks at Henry Music for making this happen. I really appreciate it. Now, the cool thing about Henry's is not only that they're run by wonderful people, but they make great quality guitars for really attractive prices. And I could pick which ones they sent to me, and I really loved the colors of these two. So this blue Telly and then this pink Strat, both kind of relict. And yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with these two guitars. They're really excellent for the money, basically. So that's really impressive. Now, if you want to check out any of these guitars during this video, please use my affiliate link, which I will post in the description. Anything purchased through that link will help the channel, which is always greatly appreciated. So where are these guitars made, you may ask? Well, these guitars are made in Asia, China, I believe. And then the parts are all sent to Europe, where they do the QC checks and everything. And that combination makes for an affordable guitar, but with great quality. Really exceptional quality. I'm really blown away by these guitars in terms of the quality versus the price and everything. So this one costs, I believe, 670 euros, and this one is 699. Okay, so that's not very expensive for the quality that you are getting here. And that's the main thing that impresses me with these Henry's Music guitars. Just the quality is amazing. And I've had some guitars from the F brand in the past, which were good, definitely good, but I never really vibed with them for some reason, whether it was like the feel of the neck or the sound of the body or whatever, or the sound of the pickups. And for some reason with these two guitars, I'm just really resonating with them. I'm really enjoying playing on them. I'm enjoying the sound of the pickups as well. So my experience with these overall has been great. Anyway, let's take a look at the individual guitars and check out how they sound. All right, we're going to start with the Henry's Music Space 2, which is, you know, a telly style guitar, as you can see. Now, I went for the model with the relic, but they also make these guitars without the relic finishing. So if you're not a fan of fake relicking and stuff, I get it. It's fine. You can just order one without the relicking. I like it. I think it looks cool. It adds some character. Maybe it's not super realistic or whatever. I don't really care about that. And if you do, that's fine. I understand. I really like how they feel in terms of finish. Everything is matte, so it feels very smooth and comfortable. Also the neck. And yeah, I think the blue color on this just really pops. It's just a beautiful color for a T-style guitar, right? Now, it's a traditional instrument, sure, but there are some modern features to the body and the overall guitar. So as you can see, there's a cutaway over here for your arm. There's a belly cut over here, which is not the case with most tellies or old school tellies. And there's even a little cutaway over here so that you can reach the upper frets a little bit more easily. So the body shape has been tweaked a little bit to make it feel more modern. Oh, I totally forgot this cutaway over here as well. So yeah, it's a little bit more modern than your average old school telly style guitar. We also have some other modern features like locking tuners, which is really nice, you know. And I must say that the bridge, even though it's an old school telly style bridge, these saddles seem very high quality. So all the hardware that they're using seems high quality overall, which was a very pleasant surprise. The shape of the headstock is a bit more unique. So this is the newer version. It's the Space 2, of course. They tweaked the headstock a little bit just to make it a bit more unique and not just, you know, a copy of the telly. Their logo is on there. It's not super easily visible, the Henry's logo, but you can see it on the headstock there. And I like the shape. It's cool. The body wood is a wood that I wasn't familiar with yet. It's called Paulonia or something. That's how I would pronounce that. It's pretty lightweight, but very resonant, so it sounds good acoustically. Yeah, it sounds rich and full. And the weight, again, is very lightweight. So if you're into lightweight guitars, these are for you. Usually I tend to prefer heavier guitars, especially for, you know, humbucker guitars and for metal guitars and everything. But luckily I can say that these sound excellent. There's plenty of low end in there, despite them being so lightweight. So I love that. It might not matter to you at all how light or heavy your guitar is, but that's worth mentioning that they are lightweight on purpose. Now we have a roasted maple neck on both guitars. Feels very comfortable. I think it's like a thin C or something. It's not super thin, but it's not as thick as a vintage telly, for example. So it's quite comfortable in the hand. And the fretwork is really excellent too. So the edges of the frets are rolled off really smoothly and really nicely. That's not something that you even see a lot of times on guitars that cost twice as much as these. So the fretwork is really good. We have a rosewood fretboard. It did need some oiling when I got these guitars because they were a little bit dry. We have these pretty cool ring pearloid inlays. And then 22 stainless steel jumbo frets. So the material of the frets is excellent and they will last a long time. Now they are saying that these are jumbo frets, but in my experience, they are a little bit more shallow or more small in comparison to other jumbo frets that I use. So for me, that's like one of the little gripes that I have. I would like to see slightly bigger frets on these guitars, especially with bends. When you do bends and stuff, you can sort of feel the fretboard rubbing against your finger, if you will. If the frets were a little bit taller, that would be a little bit less of an issue. It's not a big deal, but it's something that I've noticed. Okay, so they seem quite vintage, even though they call them jumbo frets. But that's just a little point that I wanted to add there. Now, I don't know if you saw my unboxing video for these guitars, but they come with a great gig bag, which is wonderful, high quality gig bag, and also other accessories like strap locks. So that is really nice. And some other cool little features. If you want to see what came in the box, check out my unboxing video for these two guitars. But it's not just about shipping you the guitar and you're done. No, they really want to make it an experience, and that's why they add little things to your order, like those wonderful gig bags, strap locks, etc. So that's a cool little touch. Now I did replace the stock strings with Elixir strings, my favorite brand, a set of 10s for both guitars, and I have them tuned 1/2 step down, which is my default tuning. Overall, the quality of this guitar is really nice in terms of the fit and finish, how it feels in the hand. It feels a bit worn in, so very smooth on the edges here of the neck. The frets are leveled really well, so I've got really low action without any unwanted buzz. They're just really well made and very inspiring to play. I'm really impressed. I can't say it any other way. The pickups that we have in here are really good as well. Surprisingly good. So I wasn't expecting these to be as good as they are, but I'm really enjoying the sounds of these pickups. Now in this guitar, we've got the Super Twang pickups, a bridge pickup and a neck pickup. A 3-way selector switch, just your standard tele controls, volume control, and a tone control. Now let's see how these pickups sound. Let's start with a broken up clean on channel 2 on the Blue Galaxy. So that's a light crunch, and that's a tone that I really enjoy for these F style or T style guitars in this case. All right, let's start with the bridge pickup. All right, going to the middle position. That's a nice and thick sound. And then the neck pickup for an even warmer and rounder sound. Yeah, that's awesome. So bridge pickup, middle setting, and neck pickup. Of course, you can roll off the tone as well, which I never do. But that's this guitar with sort of clean, broken up tones. Sounds great, right? I've tuned the guitar to drop C sharp right now, which is my go-to heavy tuning. And we're going to try some high gain riffs with all the pickup settings, starting with just the bridge pickup. And since we're dealing with single coil pickups, it's going to be a little bit more noisy than with my, average humbucker guitars. That's the bridge pickup. Now both pickups at the same time. And finally, the neck pickup by itself. All right, so that sounds really thick and rich, and I love it. All right, so that is the Space 2 by Henry's Music, this sort of modern and tweaked telly, a little bit of a modern and affordable take on a classic Telecaster, basically. Yeah, and I love this guitar so much. It plays great, it looks wonderful, and it sounds awesome too. Let's move on to the other guitar. All right, so this is the Snake 2, basically a Stratocaster with a humbucker. Again, with the relicking, of course, this one is in pink. But the body wood is the same, so it's the Paulonia again. Similar specs, roasted maple neck, rosewood fretboard, stainless steel frets, 22, with these ring inlays, which look really wonderful. Locking tuners. So in terms of the basic features, it's the same. But of course, we have a Strat style body and a humbucker and a Strat style layout, with 2 tone controls and a volume control. A little nice touch is that the saddles are quite solid. So I love how they added some great saddles on here. And I think the trem block inside of the cavity. I don't know if you can see this, but it's quite solid and massive as well, which is great. And this guitar really gives you a wonderful Strat experience with a bit more flexibility because of the humbucker, of course. You can do a push-push here, so now it's in humbucker mode, and now it's in single coil mode. So that's really nice. I'm not using the tremolo. You do get a trem arm, of course. I don't need that. I use this as a hardtail guitar, so it's pulled back onto the body, okay? Fretwork is just as smooth as the other one. Really impressive how rounded off these guitars are. Again, I have some guitars that are twice or 3 times as much, and they don't have fretwork as smooth as this. Again, these are jumbo stainless steel frets, but again, they seem a little bit tiny for my taste. So I would like to see some larger frets, but that's just a very personal thing. You might not agree with that at all, which is fine. But I feel like I should mention that, okay? Now, these pickups are the snakebite pickups. Again, 3 pickups. And we're gonna see how they sound, starting again with the Blue Galaxy for a low gain tone. And let's start with the humbucker pickup. See how that sounds, okay? That's already quite a bit more output than the other guitar. I think this guitar overall has a little bit more output than the Space 2. Let's go to the single coil mode for the first pickup. Very nice and twangy. Let's go to position 2 with these pickups on at the same time. Sounds really nice. Then the middle position, which is just this pickup by itself. Really nice. The fourth position. And finally, the neck pickup by itself. Yeah, this guitar sounds so good, and the pickups really work for me. Really does that thick Strat thing, you know? Wonderful. And the fourth position is great for those, you know, SRV and John Mayer style tones. Yeah, I'm loving the sounds that I'm getting out of this guitar so much. And it's just a bonus that you also have that humbucker mode for higher gain stuff. All right, so I have the guitar tuned down to drop C sharp. Once again, I'm gonna switch to the other channel with the Red Galaxy, and let's play some quick high gain riffs, okay? Starting with the humbucker mode on the first pickup. That's a nice amount of gain. I will say that even though I think the humbucker sounds great, I'm missing a little bit of bite on the humbucker mode. But that's like a very small little thing that I've noticed with this humbucker. The output is great though, and the output of the humbucker mode isn't too different from the single coil mode. So that is convenient if you want to switch in between. Let's go to the single coil mode. All right, let's go to the second position. I'm going to switch the humbucker back in. just for a different flavor, you know. The middle position. Fourth position. And the fifth position. So yeah, this guitar is extremely versatile and it really does that Strat thing, and I'm just super happy with this guitar. Both guitars, I just can't believe how good these are for the money. So I really wasn't expecting to be this happy with these guitars. I figured, you know, I'm gonna try these out, make some videos, and then maybe move on. But I think I'm gonna keep these for quite a long time because they fill a gap in my collection that I just had. I didn't have any guitars like this for quite a while. I sold all my old Fenders off, and these are just doing these things so nicely, and they look very cool with the relicking, so I just couldn't be happier, you know. And if you're looking for a more affordable alternative to an F guitar, if you know what I mean, with some modern features and cool and unique looks, cool finishes, maybe a relic finish, maybe not relics or whatever, lightweight with great pickups and a great gig bag and everything, definitely check out Henry's Music. And please use my affiliate link, which I'll post in the description below and in the comments. I'd really appreciate that, as that helps out the channel. But yeah, I'm just really positive about these guitars. You might not like how they look. You might not like the relicking. Maybe you won't like the modern features like the cutaways and everything. I appreciate that. I appreciate the locking tuners. And despite the fact that they're made in China, they are assembled and QC'd in Europe, and you can really tell that they paid a lot of attention to the quality on these things because they are just awesome. Couple of little gripes, of course. Like I mentioned, the frets are a little bit on the smaller side. Definitely not a deal breaker, but for me as a modern, you know, rock rhythm player, I do like guitars with slightly taller frets. I also think that the humbucker, even though it sounds fine, could use a little bit more bite and definition on the Snake 2, but those are basically the only things that I can say that could use some improving. I'm just really impressed. I love these things and I recommend checking them out. So thanks again to the folks at Henry's Music for sending these over and sponsoring this video. I really appreciate it. I think I'm going to use these things for quite a while in my studio because I'm just having a blast on them. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts on these guitars in the comments down below because I'd love to know. Also be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons as that really helps the channel out. I'd really appreciate it. Of course, you can also follow Sonic Drive Studio on Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to support this channel, get something in my affiliate links for Henry's or some other store, or check out my web store for digital products. Thank you guys so much for watching and hope to see you soon. Cheers.